Hey, pretty lady.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Uh,
Congratulations on your closing today.
Thank you. Thank you. I am doing well. I'm in the parking lot because I want to jump on and just show appreciation to you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Yes.
Yes. And of course, I can only see you on my screen, so I don't know if there's anybody else on yet.
There's Ramak Dej and it
Mm.
just says agent. So,
Agent. Okay.
yeah.
All right. All right. Fantastic.
I'm just
Well,
going to fill up my water.
okay. All right. And I'm going to walk inside and find a quiet spot.
دایی انجوی شدم 5 بذار منم با این جوی میشم که حالا تعداد زیاد بشه چون گفتش که
Oh, there you are. That's
Hey, we
hey,
are
Robert.
too. Hi, good morning. Hi,
Hi. Hi, how you guys
good
doing?
morning. We're good. How are you?
Morning. Doing well. I fully intended to be on the class for its entirety, but of course, my closing that was pushed from December is now 11 o'clock today.
Oh,
So,
wonderful.
yeah.
Congratulations. Yes.
So I'll jump on and say a quick, welcome to everybody, and then I'll jump off. So you guys take great notes, okay?
sure.
All right, cool. And I know it's being recorded, so I'll watch it later on. Hi.
By the way, this is a working workshop, so I hope all of you have pens and paper. I purposely did not send the workbook ahead of time because I knew you would all look at it. And I kind of wanted to go through it with you, but I will definitely email it to Authorine when we're done. So you have it because we're just going to go over it, but we're not going to do the whole thing in the interest of time. But I think it's a great workbook to really reset your mindset for 2026. So while you're waiting, go grab a pen, a paper, a journal, because this is all going to be about you.
And thank you so much, Orly, for doing this. I am here and my client is here signing his papers. So I am going to jump off. But can you please welcome everyone for me to
I definitely will do
KW?
that. I
Yeah,
definitely will do
KW
that.
Atlanta North's training. And
Great.
we appreciate everybody jumping on. So thank you, Orly.
My
Happy
pleasure.
New
Do,
Year
do I
again.
have do I have to let them in or they will come in automatically? Is somebody
They will
letting them
come
in?
in automatically. And
Okay.
Kimberly's on, so she's gonna make you host, okay?
Very good.
All right, thank you.
Have a good closing.
Bye.
Congratulations. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
So we'll wait for a few more minutes to let everybody get on because not everybody is punctual like we are. In fact, I always say if you're on time, you're late. So, because I always like to get on a couple of minutes early, either for an appointment or a Zoom call or whatever, because again, I'm setting my mindset to whoever I'm going to be speaking with. And you don't want to rush into a room late where you feel anxious and stressed out because that's not the best way to show up. And I think you'll all agree with me. And this is going to be interactive. So please remember that. I'm going to put the chat on so I can see your responses. Turn my phone off so we're not disturbed. I did this yesterday live for an office. We were about 30 of us, and it was probably a different experience than it's going to be on Zoom. And I wish, and I'm going to invite you to take your paper bags off of your head and turn your cameras on because, again, this is interactive. This is not speaking to you, me speaking to you. This is interactive. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you. So again, take your paper bags off your head. We want to see you. Unless you're stark naked, which I doubt you are at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And if you are, then I don't know how you run a business when you're still naked at 11 o'clock. So turn on your cameras, please. Please. I want to see your beautiful faces. It helps me get the energy from you. So help me help you. Thank you, Tanya. I see you walking through the office, and that's fine. But I appreciate you putting your camera on. Martha, thank you. I appreciate you as well as Janice. Adrian, I guess you're still naked. And Mandy and Ginny. Ah, Fatima knew I was coming after her. Good. I can't hear you. Your mute button is on. And you're welcome to chat. All right, it's 11:02, so let's go. So I'm Orly Steinberg, really known nationally and my branding locally as Only Orly. Um, and Only Orly has been my branded tagline for many, many years, probably about 35 or so years. In fact, I usually change my name on Zoom. And I'm here to talk to you about Mindset Reset because I wrote a book called, in fact, here's a copy of the book. I wrote a book called Mindset Reset for Real Estate Success. And the premise of the book is my journey over the last almost, believe it or not, 40 years of building a successful business, but more importantly, having work-life harmony and building truly a life by design at this point. So at this point in my career, a lot of things are working for me on automatic pilot as far as prospecting and business and come list me calls. I've got a small team now. I had a big team of, well, not huge, but seven. There were seven of us. I now have a smaller team of two buyer's agents, a transaction coordinator who also does my marketing, and I am the listing agent. I do not work with buyers for the last 7 to 8 years by choice. That really allows me to have more work-life harmony. And I don't work weekends. I work maybe 2 hours on a Friday, and I'm usually out of the office definitely before 5 o'clock during the week, sometimes earlier because everything is systematized. And my job only is to not only do coaching for my clients, but also to go fishing for listings. That's really what I do. I go fishing for listings, and then the rest takes care of itself. So besides writing the book, I also have a new venture, which you'll have the QR code shortly, called Reset Rise Collective. And you'll see the QR code if you just want to sign up for information about it, which is going to be a weekly Friday morning at 9 Zoom call where it's almost like therapy for realtors. It's the challenges that we go through and how we deal with them and giving you tools to deal with them because real estate is not only very challenging, it's also very lonely. If you're a successful agent, no one's going to feel sorry for you if a deal falls apart. If you're an agent that just started and only has one transaction, you can't cry to the public, you can't cry to your family, and hopefully you build a tribe of other realtors that really get you, that you can really say, hey, I'm having a poopy day. And I have that tribe where you just don't feel it. You don't feel like prospecting. You don't feel like showing up, and how that can change with the mindset tools that we're going to discuss for 2026. So let me share my screen and get your papers and pens ready. Here it is. Client just walked in just to chat, but today's not the day. So let me just on the Zoom. So when you have VIP clients, they love to walk into your office and just say hello, and that's wonderful. So kind of reverse prospecting. When you're out there and you've built relationships, they come to you. So let's get back to what we're doing. So Reset Rise Collective, mindset first, success follows. How do you keep your mindset going every single day when things are coming at you? You're building a business, you're dealing with clients, market conditions, people who aren't as motivated as you would like them to be. So this workbook is not about pushing harder. It's about or doing more or proving anything, because for years I was grinding and striving, and it's exhausting and it's sometimes disappointing because you're grinding and striving and nothing's happening, right? You spend an hour on the phone making calls to people who either aren't picking up the phone or picking it up and getting you off the phone as soon as possible, or listed with somebody else, or not ready for the next, whatever, 5 years. So it's hard. It's hard prospecting for people who are ready to do business now. But I changed my mindset a few years ago, actually during COVID, from striving to thriving. And I finally realized that if we do less and we have the right mindset, it's actually easier to do business and, more importantly, more joyful. This can be a business, for me anyway, that you can be passionate about. And in many ways, it's addictive, because when you see deals coming in and you see people that want to connect with you and you get those come list me calls, you want more of that. And then you start building your business to get more of that. So I want to know on the chat, how many of you have already done, well, I can't see the chat actually. Let me see if I can. Nope, I can't see the chat. So I'm going to open it up because we're not that many people. How many of you have already done your goals for 2026? Great. So whatever formula you followed, which is looking back at your business from last year, writing down what your I have to is, because we all have an I have to. We have to make a certain amount of money to make it worthwhile to be in this business, correct? The rest of it is I want to. So if I have to do 10 transactions this year to make it worthwhile for me to show up, but I would love to do 20 or 30 or 50 or 100, that's the what I call the I want to. And I'm not going to go through the formula of setting goals, because this isn't really about goals setting. It really is more about intentions and how you show up every day. And I had somebody who showed up, raised their hand. Did you want to speak? The person that raised their hand before? Because you're welcome to interrupt me, just like a listing appointment. You
No,
can
I was raising our hands to say that we had our business plan.
Fantastic, because some people go to business planning events, but don't walk away with a business plan for whatever reason. So the first thing I want to do for you is getting clarity. In order to get clarity about 2026, before we look forward, we need to look back. I'd love for you to look back at 2025 with no judgment, no preconceived ideas. This is just about you. And just jot down a couple of notes about how you really feel about 2025. What did you live through personally, professionally? For me, the year started off, believe it or not, with losing my mom in January. It ended up in December with my fourth grandchild. So we went from death to birth, and that's the way life is. And how do you set your mindset when you're mourning and grieving? For me, it was about going into triage mode, where I was just dealing with the pendings that I had on the plate, the people who wanted to list their homes, and prospecting kind of went on the wayside because you're in triage mode and you really can't do more than that. So if somebody wants to share how you felt in 2025, just get yourself off mute and shout it out.
Hey there, I'm Adrienne.
Hey,
Thanks so much for
Adrienne.
doing this. Yeah, 25 was great for me. 24 was my hard year, so came back really
What was
strong last year. So
what was great for 2025?
I think I really started running my business like a business and really focusing on lead generation the last few years because I started about 6.5, 7 years ago.
Hmm.
So I think just really pivoting when I didn't have business and knowing when to do that. So yeah,
Fantastic. And what was your biggest challenge in 2025?
I think myself doing things I don't want to do, but knowing I need to do it. And
And that's the number one challenge for all of us, Adrian. So don't
yeah,
laugh uncomfortably. Laugh with gratitude because
oh yeah,
the first thing I discovered during COVID was that the most challenging place to be for me during COVID was in my own mind. Sitting alone in our homes and getting into our own heads was the worst place that I could have been. So we are usually 80% of our own stress in life. We create our own stress, we create our own mindset, and we create our own challenges most of the time. But if I give you some hacks today to how to kind of compartmentalize and deal with those challenges and disruptors, then maybe 2026 can be even better than 2025. Where did you show up for yourself in 2025? Where did I choose resilience? Because we are all resilient. We all go through adversity in life. There is not one of us that's ever going to escape some kind of adversity. It's just the way life is, but it's how we deal with it that really matters at the end of the day. And for me personally, when I go through an adversity, my first thought usually is, how am I role modeling this for my three daughters? Because one day I'm not going to be around. And it's not what you say to your children, it's how you behave that they model. And when you model adversity of not just being stoic and plowing through it, but allowing yourself to be a little bit vulnerable, transparent, allowing support, which is so hard for so many of us. I know it was a challenge for me, and one I had to learn in 2010 when I went through breast cancer and was out of my business for 2 months completely out of my business. And my team sold 16 houses that April. So it was about structure, systems, creating a team where your business is on automatic pilot, whether you're there or not. Obviously better when you're there, but how are you modeling going through whatever challenges you go through for yourself and for your family? So
thank
the
you.
first thing we're
Yes,
going to do is, what's that? Go ahead, Adrian.
I was just saying thank you. Yes,
Yes, we have to give each other permission to be vulnerable and transparent. And I do that very well at this point. I am the good, the bad, and the ugly. It is what it is. Can't be anybody else. You're all taken. So I'm going to give you this workbook, but just for right now, let's take a minute to look at our phones. And I want you to look at the pictures from January 2025. So if you go back, for those of you that take pictures, I have tons of travel pictures because my husband is a high-end travel advisor. We travel the world a few times a year while my business still runs on automatic pilot. You can look at your calendar, you can look at your social media memories, but think back to, and you're going to do this for yourselves for every month of 2025, because when you go back and look at your pictures going back, you kind of remember the things that you may have forgotten, the joys, the events. None of us, I don't think, post when we're feeling horrible. Like you're not going to post a picture of yourself getting the flu, although I've seen some of those on social media, which is not a bad idea, not something I would do. But when you go back and review the years, it kind of triggers what stands out for you. How is your energy? What mattered most to you? And it helps you kind of get clarity on what you did, but more importantly, the intentionality of going forward and how you want to shape 2026. I'm already booked for vacations up to August of 2026. So going to Africa in February, London in April, Portugal in August for our family trip. So first I plug in all those fun things that I love to do with my family, and then my business runs. In fact, I'm already working on my February anniversary cards and my February birthdays for my clients because I always like to be not only 1 month ahead, because you don't know what's going to come into your life or your business that will distract you. So I always like to stay a little bit ahead of myself, but I'll probably go right into March because I'm not getting back from my cruise till probably February 17th. So I don't want to come back stressed and scramble. So I'll probably get that stuff done for March as well, giving me a little bit of a reprieve. But when you look back at those pictures, I want you to notice some patterns. Are there patterns in your life where you're either not focused, not working, avoidance, patterns of growth, where you go to an event and you hear all these amazing ideas? And how much of it did you implement? Is that a pattern? Where, I mean, I've got notebooks and notebooks. I've got a carton of notebooks. When I pass, my daughters are going to have amazing notebooks about how to increase real estate and journals of how I felt at the time. Probably throw them out, but those are the things I want you to focus on when you do this journal on your own, because it's all about values and alignment. Because your goals should really encompass your whole life. And what I'm also going to email Authorine is a wheel of life where you can fill in from the center going out with a coloring magic marker, how much on a scale of 1 to 10 you feel accomplished or fulfilled in the area of relationships, wealth building, your physical health, your spirituality, your personal growth, and of course, your career, because it kind of gives you an idea of where you should focus on. What is my intent? Career for me on the wheel of life was always very high. And I've noticed in the last few years, it's gotten less as my relationships have gotten higher because I'm now on my fourth grandchild. So my relationship with my husband, as we are, in the phase of our life where I call it the honeymoon phase. This is the phase where we're not striving anymore. We're not building careers. We're not raising kids. This is all about us and what we want to do in life, which is, for those of you that are younger, the best phase to be in. And if you can just manage to stay married and still like each other, because you'll always love each other, but if you still like each other, when you get to this point, then you can enter what I call that honeymoon phase. So the wheel of life will help you. And I also will include a wheel of business, because you want to also look at your business and look at all the facets, including your environment. Some of you work from home, some of you work from the office. What does that environment look like? Is it cluttered? Because a cluttered environment is a cluttered mind. Is it organized? Is it beautiful where you can't wait to get there? Is it energizing or is it depleting? So even that is one facet of the wheel of business. Because when we set our goals and grind towards them, we live in our heads. I want you to live in your heart. I want you to live with joy. What should I achieve? I wake up with intentions every single day. It's kind of like affirmations, but to me, and I do affirmations, I am is wishing what I want to be. But if you turn it around to intentions, because I have a tribe of 5 other top realtors in the country that I email every morning. That's the first thing I do after my workout and after listening to a positive podcast while I'm working out, is I email my wins. So we changed affirmations years ago, based on the John Acuff book, The Gap and the Gain, not focusing on the gap of what didn't I accomplish today? What didn't I do yesterday that I have to do today? But what did I do? What was the win that I received from yesterday? Even if it was just making 5 phone calls, that's a win. Even if I drank a little bit more water than I drank the previous day, even if I ate less sugar, those are all wins, and they're intentional. because I woke up in the morning with that intention. So when we write our wins to each other, and if you have an accountability partner, and if you don't, I suggest you find a tribe, even if it's just one person and they don't have to be in real estate, because that's accountability. When I email them my wins from yesterday and what I hope my wins will be for today, I'm already setting an intention for the process of that day. And that process becomes automatic after time, whether it's prospecting, eating better, whatever it is that's important to you in your life, maybe spending more time with somebody in your life, maybe a friend, maybe a loved one. It's setting an intention about who you choose to be every single day. What is your identity? What are the emotions that you want to exude? How is your energy on a scale of 1 to 10? In fact, I want to know right now from some of you, what is your energy level on a scale of 1 to 10?
Okay. And we just cleared out, so we're all set and on track now. So we won't have to wait.
Oh, great.
Jen,
Do you need my new insurance or is it all
Yeah,
under
Jen,
Okay.
can you mute
Yeah.
yourself, please? Jen,
Wasn't even gonna ask.
thank you. Thank you. Don't you love that?
Is it digital?
So it's identity before action. When you lead with intentionality and you choose your identity, you stop chasing a future version of yourself. You begin embodying it now. And that's where the automatic pilot comes in. When you just start being the person that you want to be. And and another book which was great is Being Your Future Self Now. My intent, believe it or not, is to live to 115. Not because I'm an overachiever, which I am, but because I know that genetically and lifestyle wise, I'm probably going to make it to my late 90s organically if I continue like this. So why not go to 115 by now hiring a personal coach 6 months ago, lifting weights, trying to eat better. And if I only make it to 105, I still exceeded the organic longevity that I probably had. So it's literally living now for my future. It's wealth building for my passive income, which I have enough of to retire today. Now we're working on our legacy wealth for our children and grandchildren. So be your future self now, but you have to prepare for it. And it comes with intentionality every single day of choosing who I want to be, aligning with my life, with my core values, which is another thing that we'll discuss, identity reflection, because who do you want to be in 2026? What qualities matter most to you? What kind of energy do you want to bring into your work, into your home, into your friendships? Because I know some people are very energy vampires because energy is contagious. Is yours worth catching? Because I've had team members that have walked into the office and all of a sudden you feel that energy going down in the office because they have that negative vibe around them. And those are the people that I kind of have an invisible shield for, where I don't want to be touched by that negative vibe. Go tell somebody who gives a shit because I don't. You want to vent? Go vent to a friend, but don't bring it into the office because the office is showtime. This is where we need to be there for our clients 100%. So if something is going on in your life, I like to put it in an imaginary box, compartmentalizing it and put it up on a shelf and revisit it when I have time to visit it. The time is not when I'm with the client. And I hope you all agree. So intentions start with core values. One of my core values when it came down to wealth building is stability and sustainability. The second week of COVID, when everything shut down and we as realtors couldn't do business, I realized how sustainable my life was. My husband had been commuting to Manhattan every single day for like 40 years, and now he's working from home still today. How is our relationship going to be sustainable when we were going to see each other all the time? How are we sustainable financially? Because I didn't know if we were going to sell a house that year. It was March, right? The end of March. We could have gone the whole year without selling one house, and we were sustainable. So that was a great test of how sustainable we had built the foundation of our lives. So think about the next adversity that comes into your life And how sustainable are you now? Or how much do you have to prepare for in the future to keep that sustainability? An interesting exercise was my very dear friend is a cardiologist. There are a group of three cardiologists, and they were bought out by one of the big healthcare companies before COVID, thank God. But I asked him that question. I said, if you had not been bought out, how sustainable would your cardiology practice have been if you didn't have that? And he said 3 months. I was shocked that successful cardiologists would have only been sustainable for 3 months. And yet I was sustainable for at least a year, if not more. So, how sustainable are you? Something to ask yourself. So, we go from intentions to daily alignment. Growth is built through the way you start your morning, the way you speak to yourself, the way you recover when things don't go as planned, the way you protect your energy, like those energy vampires. I kind of have that energy around me where those negative people just know this is not the address. Like I said before, go tell somebody who cares. Because if you're just venting for the sake of venting, but you don't take my advice, I don't have the patience for that. I'm a problem solver. I like to move forward. Some people just like to vent and feel sorry for themselves. That's not the group of people that I choose to hang out with. How do you start your morning? I want to hear from some of you what your morning routine is, because win the morning, win the day. And that is so important to me. I don't know if any of you have read Hal Elrod's Miracle Morning, but that is one of my morning rituals where I have to start with the morning ritual that gets my energy up, gets my mindset going, because then I'm grounding myself like roots of a tree so deeply that no matter what happens during the day, no matter what deals are falling apart or somebody listed with somebody else, it's not going to topple me. It may shake me a bit, but it won't topple me. So tell me a little bit about your morning routines. Who wants to share? Nobody has a morning routine.
I'll share. This is Angela Presley in the Keller Williams Atlanta North office. My routine starts at 5 o'clock. I'm up.
Wow.
I'm out of the house by 6:05 to be at the gym by 6:15. And then I'm out of the gym by 7:05 to head to the office. In the office, on the way to the office, I'm listening to the pivot call. And then by the time the pivot call is over, I'm sitting at my desk ready to get started. So
Love
getting
it.
to the gym is crucial for me to start my day on time, because that means I'm getting up on time, I'm getting out of the house on time, and I'm getting to the office on time. If I miss the gym, I'm absolutely going to be late getting to the office.
Love it. Love it. So you've got it right. Geisha, what about your morning routine?
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, I should say. I'm in Houston, Texas, so it's still morning here. But thank you so much, Orly, for this time today that you've put this together. It's so appreciated. It's such a pleasure to finally get a chance to talk to you one-on-one. I admire you and appreciate you on the call. But yes, just like my colleague just said, my morning starts pretty early. I usually leave out at 5 in the morning with my husband. We go to the gym together. And then at the gym, I really use the gym as my lead gen. So normally when I'm there, especially when I go into the sauna now, I'll always have something on real estate related, either it's my cap or something or one of my shirts. And so that usually sparks conversation. People start making a little eye contact on the side. It's like, should I say something to her? So I usually have my little meeting in the sauna with a few people every morning. And I've had quite a few clients there at the gym. So they look for me now when I get there. It's kind of like a follow-up. So once I leave the gym, I run home and get on the call. I'll pivot call in the morning. And then I get started with my day. But first, I usually start back and look at my calendar that I prepared the night before. So as soon as I get back in the house, I know exactly where I need to start with my calls.
I love it. And I applaud you for having that great positive routine, because when you have that kind of routine, you're an automatic pilot, aren't you?
Yes, I am. And I love it. And it helps me to stay focused. It energizes me and it makes me feel like I definitely was intentional with my day.
I love it. And that really is the next thing I wanted to talk about, that intentions are not wishes, they're directions. When you consistently return your focus to an intention, you are training your brain, a brain capable of changing itself over time. And for me, and for all of you, it should start with the core intentions for 2026. So when we get done, I hope you take an hour to yourself at least. Go somewhere, Starbucks, whatever, Barnes and Noble, your favorite room in your home, and just write down 1 to 3 intentions that you can reflect on of how you want to be as you build, serve, and grow. And some of the examples is I choose calm, grounded leadership. I choose sustainable success. I choose presence over pressure. Take that time because a, you're role modeling for the people in your lives, but you're also taking time to reflect who you are at a core level. And how many of us really take the time to really look at our core values and who we are at a core value? Because once you know, you kind of carry that through with you throughout your life every day. And you show the world who you are, and you show up the way you want to show up. And another thing that you may want to journal about is what are you ready to release in 2025? Is it some relationships that no longer serve you, that may be toxic, that may not be lifting you up, but dragging you down? And it's as hard as it is to let go sometimes of those relationships. It doesn't have to be in a rude fashion. It just could be kind of a slow release of you no longer serve me, because everything in life has an expiration date. Everything from our milk to our homes to our relationships to everything in life, even the clothes we wear. Everything has an expiration date. So what are you ready to let go of so you can have a better 2026? What are you intentionally carrying into 2026? And how do you want to feel about the next chapter in your life? And the workbook ends with you are not behind, you are becoming. And this year, you're choosing to grow on purpose. You're going to get these workbooks. And if you're interested in my Reset Rise Collective venture, you'll have the QR code. And I didn't put the QR code for my book, but it's just mine. If you just put Orly Steinberg into Amazon, you will be able to get the book. The next thing I want to touch on, unless you guys have questions, which I'm always happy to answer on the fly. Part of the morning routine also, if you could incorporate some gratitude in there, because no matter what's going on in our lives, for me, it comes down to the core basics of where I am in this one moment right now, this one moment where I'm not in pain, I have a roof over my head, I'm feeling okay, and I'm exuding energy to instill motivation to other people. So, if in this one moment, no matter what's going on in your life, everything else that will challenge you today is going to dissipate by tomorrow. So, whenever you're going through a stressful time, just think of that one moment that you're sitting in right this very minute. And a lot of that comes from, as I said before, self-stress. It's the worrying, which mostly women tend to worry more than men. It's the worrying about what will happen. Well, for me, I didn't get that worry gene, which I'm very blessed with, but you can practice not having that worry gene, because I truly believe it's a waste of energy worrying about something that may or may not happen, worrying about it until it does happen. Because when it does happen, we tend to react to it, we deal with it. So there's no reason to worry about something that may not happen now, but just dealing with it. I don't know how to get this here. Okay, oops. Just make this larger. How do I make this larger? Going back to view. All right. Sorry, guys. Here we are. We're getting a little bit better. So it's about gratitude and really appreciating everything that you have in your life. But for those of us who've practiced gratitude, it gets same old sometimes, doesn't it? When you're writing the same things over and over again. So there's two hacks that I have for you. One is to give yourself a 30-day challenge of writing 3 gratitudes a day, but not repeating one of them. That's the key because now you're intentional. Now you really have to think about something different or taking the gratitudes that you have and simply adding the word because at the end of it. Because I could be grateful for the love and support I get from Aaron because makes me really think about why. Why am I grateful for that? So just 2 hacks that I'm giving you there. Going through the Hal Elrod Savers. I don't know if you've read his book, but the Savers are basically silence, which could be meditation, affirmations, visualization. How do you want the day to be? What do you visualize? Exercise, we discussed, reading something positive, and of course, journaling and getting that mindset going.
Sorry, Orly, you're sharing your screen.
I'm still sharing my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Your laptop, actually, your whole screen.
Oh, my whole screen. You're
It's
right.
a beautiful tree.
Oh, thank you. I live in a
You're
beautiful wooded
welcome.
area.
Of
I
course you
love
do.
the
Here,
woods. Yeah.
stop share. There we go. Yay, I did it. Yes. So yeah, I live in a beautiful area with 3 lakes, a reservoir, and I back up to a forest. So,
Oh,
and I am grateful for that every single day because we all live in paradise to some degree, don't we? Then I go into the let them theory for realtors. I did a couple of classes on the let them theory for realtors, which if I had written the book, it would have been I don't give a shit. But to be more polite, it's letting them. So when clients aren't as motivated as you would like them to be because they're not ready to do business with you now because it doesn't serve them now, and yet you're still trying to beat a dead horse, and why can't I get them to pull the trigger to buy or pull the trigger to list? It's because they're not ready. So for me, when I meet with a client, my objective is to get into their mind and soul and see what's going on behind what they're telling me. See how far I can get to what's going on in their lives, who they are as a human being. And once you get there and you build that trust, you get to the underlying agenda. And if it's not now, it's okay. Let them, while you're looking for new people who are ready today, obviously stay in touch with them on a monthly basis. So when they are ready, they'll choose you to do business with. But so many of us focus on clients who aren't ready, thinking that our skills aren't good enough and we can't get them to pull the trigger, which is not the case. They're just not ready now. So you just want to be that person when they are ready. What kind of challenges do you guys have that the let them theory could help you with? Come on, we all have challenges. The market conditions, interest rates, the sellers who are getting ready to get ready. God knows I'm listing a house this month, finally, after 3 years of them getting ready to get ready. So no challenges? Okay. You're in a better position than I'm in. So with the let them theory, some of the things I came up with is I don't chase business. I attract it. I lead with clarity. I trust my experience. I don't rush decisions because it's all about where they're coming from. And when you trust that and they build the trust with you, doesn't a transaction go better when they listen to you? As opposed to you met them at an open house, you wrote up an offer, things go awry 3 weeks later, but you have no relationship as a foundation, and therefore they're not going to listen to you to keep the deal together because you're the person who wrote up the offer. You're not the trusted realtor with the relationship that you have. So it's learning how to detach from the outcome and doing what's right for the clients. And the last thing I want to leave you with is 2 things, actually. You don't need a new personality for 2026. You don't need permission to trust yourself again. This is a long game, and you're still here because you've built resilience, wisdom, and perspective. That's not luck, that's experience. And I appreciate you showing up, but I want to read you one more thing because I don't know if you realize, but in the Chinese calendar, we're going into, on February 17th, we're going into the year of the horse, the fire horse. We just came out from the year of the snake, and the snake was about shedding, right? Shedding a new skin. But the year of the fire horse, oh my God, this is our year for sure. The energy of the fire horse, and I'm going to read this to you, is building up to help you manifest those intentions that we spoke about. And this was written by somebody that I'm going to read it for you. The year of the fire horse. The year of the fire horse begins on February 17th, and I can already feel its energy stirring quietly, steadily, and with purpose. The past year, the year of the snake, has asked so much of me. It's been a year of shedding, layer by layer, things I once thought I needed to survive. Old skins, old stories, old ways of holding myself together. There have been moments of deep challenge, moments that asked more of my heart and my nervous system than I ever expected. And yet, through it all, I've kept listening, kept breathing, kept showing up, even when I wanted to disappear for a while. This year has asked me to soften and strengthen at the same time, to let go without collapsing, to trust that in releasing what no longer serves, something more aligned would one day take its place. And now, as we step toward the fire horse, I feel something shifting. The fire horse carries the energy of truth, movement, and quiet courage. It invites us to step forward honestly, not pushing, not forcing, but allowing ourselves to be seen as we truly are. For me, this year feels like a gentle turning point, a moment to breathe again, to welcome lightness, connection, and goodness back in, to trust that after so much letting go, it is okay to receive. The fire horse reminds us that power doesn't come from striving, it comes from alignment, from listening to our bodies, from walking beside life rather than against it. As this new cycle begins, I'm opening my heart to what's next with gratitude for what's shaped me and hope for what's still to come. May this year bring each of us the courage to keep moving forward, the softness to rest when we need it, and the trust to believe that good things are allowed to find us too. So this is very encouraging that the year of the fire horse is the year that we can really be energized to be the person and step into our own skins in a new way. Thank you. I'm going to open it up to whatever you want to talk about. We talked about alignment, core values, and stepping into a new year with new attitudes. Oh, Authorine is back.
I am back. Thank you. I think I missed the first 15 minutes and then I listened on my way home. So thank you, Orly. I think one of the things I heard you say, and correct me because I was driving and paying attention, is to lead with your heart. Did you say that? And not
Absolutely.
your, what did you say? Not your head?
Correct. Correct. So instead of striving, we're going towards thriving. And a lot of that comes with joy. What brings you joy? That's one of the questions I have in my book, Mindset Reset, because if we focus on what brings us joy and we work towards that every single day, that's the reward for doing what we sometimes don't feel like doing.
Yeah, well, everybody on here that knows me knows exactly what brings me joy. Yeah. And it starts with the person I serve and my family. They bring me immense joy.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and I am unapologetic about always putting God and my family first, and that will never change.
It
It
doesn't have
doesn't.
to.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
spiritual foundation of which you live off of, which is
Mhm,
awesome.
mhm. Well, I'm gonna shut up now so other people can speak.
Patty, go ahead.
Hi, thank you so much. I listened to most of this or watched most of this. I had an interruption, though. I feel like this year this really helped with the mindset. We struggled a lot last year. We had one of our lowest years in a long time. And so, going into a new year with the mindset, it's, one day I'm like, this is going to be the year. And other times I just felt like, I felt a little bit defeated from having the year that we had last year. And so anyway, as far as putting your heart into it, like you mentioned, we want to just be, put our hearts forward a lot more. After coming out of a year where we were just feeling like the struggle all the time, and it was hard to keep that positive attitude and heart-centered way. So we're just looking at ways that we can really up our service, just not think as much about the goals as we do about just serving people and looking for the best way, for each individual person that we serve, that we can, really make it a great experience for them and help them at the highest level. And I wanted to share that I'm reading a great book right now that I think everybody should read. It's a restaurant book, but Unreasonable Hospitality. I don't know if that was something.
Yep, I've heard of
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Oh my gosh, it is amazing. And like I said, it's based on restaurant, but it totally, we're in the service industry too. So it
totally.
completely transfers over to everything that we do. And it's really made me think a lot about ways we can, just be more heart-centered with what we do for our clients. So anyway, I appreciate you. And always, when I get an opportunity to hear you on Pivot or anything, it's always a blessing. Thank you.
Thank you, Patty. And I love the way you have set your intention for the year, whether you realized it or not, because you realize that by serving others in an exceptional way, the business will come. And that is how you set your intention. So you were doing it without even maybe realizing it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
My pleasure.
Have a great year.
You as well. I wish
Thank
you
you.
all a good year.
Thank you.
If nobody else wants to share, then I will leave you with just wishing you the best of energy every single day. Every single day. And you could always reach me anytime if you need anything. I'm always available to anybody. I've already spoken to 2 realtors this morning that just called me for some advice. I'm happy to help. That's my purpose in life at this point, is to pour back into my wonderful community of realtors who allowed me this magnificent life that I live, truly by design.
Thank you, Miss Orly. Thank you, thank you. I owe you big time, and thank you for pouring back into our market center. I cannot thank you enough. Thank you for kicking off 2026 for us with this mindset reset and the challenges that you gave us. I am thankful for Elliot because, and fill in the because. Yes.
Exactly. Exactly. Just little tweaks. That's all we do, is just tweak our business and tweak our lives. And I'll get you all of those um, resources by email. I'll send it to you right now.
Okay,
Perfect.
thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.